Okay, ready.
See, I had to go. If we had located you earlier, I would have known. They couldn't locate you. So I said, suppose nobody is there.
You must wait. You must
So I've been here since morning.
Even I've been here since morning. I've been here for the last 4 days.
Oh, every day.
Yes.
I don't know.
I know it, but I couldn't aware of it.
What is going on?
Yeah,
you got it, you got it.
Yes. Considering you're the only one.
No, some people may got it. They do record it, you know.
That's what they're saying. Even if there's nothing else, at least people have
Record it and it goes on.
That's what I'm doing. I'm noting down the ones I'm doing, and then I'm going to watch the others when I go home.
Oh. So you don't miss anything.
Yeah, try not to.
Good arrangement. It's a good arrangement.
Well, there's so much to see, so much to learn. It's a shame not to make use.
Yeah, done that. ठीक हो गया.
ठीक हो गया. Is the mic working here? Check करो because we need to speak in the mic to get it right.
Leadership's strengths move from group to group.
Otherwise the recording.
Because at least you should be live.
Sure.
Because of the recording.
Just a bit. Why not?
That's what just I've been sitting since morning. The legs are now actually wanting some exercise. Because the working session and I need to sit there. Where are you from?
I'm from Delhi. I just came in and walking.
Doing a great job.
I know that.
This morning I was seeing
I can understand.
active and smiling all the time.
Which all sessions did you attend?
Sorry?
Which all sessions did
You've
you
been
attend?
doing it.
Oh, you've been doing sessions.
8:30 onwards.
How many
Back to back.
Today 4 or the 8 o'clock.
And around what all topics?
What all was there? We spoke on that. Okay, I got a paper. How to come out victorious when standing for your values in the face of adversity. Then the personal journey of leadership and becoming a role model. Then stress and self-care. When we are at our best, we can do our best. Then life starts when you love yourself. Now it's supposed to be leadership. Strengths to move from good to good. I don't know how they invented all this.
My God.
Topics. I used to be in Iran a long time back. In the last 20 years, and freelance.
Are you wondering this?
What comes on the way? Yes, but whatever you do, leadership is required.
When you want a mic, they mic चल रहा है. I want to get somebody to play the mic.
Are you going to moderate this?
Yes. No, not moderate. I'm going to run it, but I'm waiting for the microphone.
I can get it.
We are waiting for the audience, now wait for the
We are there.
Yes.
We are the volunteers and audience too.
Come, join in.
microphone.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you. We managed to make it.
You're well in time.
Well in time, yes.
Yeah, we're still trying to get everything.
Okay. Maybe I'll get in a cup of coffee.
Please do.
Yes. Please. Thank you. Can I get you anything?
Now,
I got the tea.
Okay. Great. I'll be back. Thanks.
One thing is there are plenty of coffee tea available all the time, everywhere.
Yes.
and because it is there, you just keep drinking without thinking.
No break. Excellent arrangements.
Yes. A lot of dedication. That has gone through.
Whole team of volunteers.
Yes. A lot of effort.
Volunteers have been excellent.
Excellent.
Always got a smile on their face. And of course the sound and tea.
All of them.
Are you going to hold it like this?
We have
Sorry?
Record it.
हिंदी मैं इंग्लिश नहीं आती
Which places they have to stand, you know?
छोड़ सकते हैं वो क्या
नहीं छोड़ नहीं सकता
गिर जाएगा
हाँ
Only here, but everywhere else they have to stand.
माइक नहीं चलेगा भाई इसको बुलाना पड़ेगा क्यों हाँ तीन स्पीच ऐसी हुई है वॉइस नहीं आ रही गेंद आ रहे आ गया रहने दो पता है इसको Give me a shot. Start.
Two ladies dropped in, they have gone to drink coffee. Because they take time.
maybe they will be
Let's start.
I think you can
I
start.
think you can start there. They'll come slowly. That's what happens at this station.
Okay.
People come their own time. You want to be on the table?
it's one on moving. I'm Shalini Kamath. I focus in the area of change and transformation across, whether it is an individual, whether it is an organization, whether it is a team, a group of people. My focus currently remains with organizations because that's where I have worked right through. So I'm in 4 or 5 distinct areas of work that I do. First is in coaching, business coaching, single executive coaching, CEO coaching. Second is in change and transformation, so helping organizations change their structures, their vision, their strategies to bring in the people mindset to be able to bring about a change through people. The third area that I work in is in leadership development. I run a program called Extraordinary Leadership, and that's the one that I'm going to be talking about now. And the fourth area that I work in is I help women with organizations with gender diversity and inclusion. I want more and more women to pick up senior level positions, be able to help organizations take decisions where both mindsets, a male and a female, are integrated, and there is that kind of leadership that reflects So that also brings me to my last area of work, which is ensuring that there are women that can come on corporate boards. So I help women to come and join, coach them to join corporate boards. So that's the work that I do. Now I'm just going to focus on this particular program that I run, but before I focus on what I run, I will very quickly share my life story so that it explains why this field and why this chosen field. So I was married very young. I was married at the age of 19. I had just not even completed my graduation. I had my child when I was 20. And I completed my graduation after he was born. So he was 3 days old and I studied and finished my graduation. My marriage took me to Africa. So that's where I lived for first 12 years of my career. And unfortunately in Africa, after 6 years of my married life, my husband had renal failure. He was very unwell for 2 years and he passed away. So my son was 8 and my daughter was 2 at that time. So that's when I realized I had to now do more with life. And I continued working and started and prepared for my MBA, which I did my MBA from UK. And then from there I moved back to India. But while I was working, I had to do a lot of work which was in community development. So I had to travel to the heart of Kalahari Desert and work with bushmen there, skilling them, helping them with health, hygiene, livelihood, and that kind of work, and studying simultaneously. So it showed to me as to how you have to work to get where you want to get. So grit, determination is what I learned in that period of my life. I moved back to India and I have worked with very large organizations. In business development and in human resources. So my last one before was I used to head human resources for KPMG in India, and then helped a very small company build 11 lines of businesses. And for last 3 years, I am running my own consulting. So that's when I focused. I realized through my own journey that each time I focused on something which was not existing in me, it drained me. And each time I focused on things that I had, some things that I possessed, I focused on that and I saw that my life built. I could do and reinvent myself and do something better. So that's when I tied up with CBE of Sweden, Netherlands, they're based out of Netherlands, and Zengerfolkman program, and that's what I'm going to share with you as to how do I run those programs and what is it that it brings to the table. So it's the Extraordinary Leadership Program. So it has 9 insights. The program is around 9 insights. So the first insight that you have is that leadership means that the people that work for you are satisfied. If they are happy and satisfied, they will ensure that the clients are happy. And if the clients are happy, the business will come through. So that's a very simple, straight path. The second insight that it has is that as leaders, we all have weaknesses. There is no leader that doesn't have weaknesses. So no one is perfect. It's just what we focus on. So if we focus on our strengths, and that's why the program that I run is a strength-based program. The third insight that we have is again a research-based, that there are these 16 differentiating leadership principles which can change us from worst to best. So if there are these 16 that we can focus on, and there's no need to focus on these 16, and I will tell you, but these are the 16, that if somebody can do something about them, you're able to bring about a huge change. Insight 4. If we just focus on our weaknesses, the development that we are able to do ourselves is that marginal. Move is from 34 to 46. But if we focus on our strengths, it can move up to 77, nearly double. No? So that's why it's the next insight, and that's why we focus on this. Insight 5 is very interesting. So if you look at this, remember the 16 that I spoke to you about? That there are 16 leadership principles. If we we just focus on developing 3, so if we have no strength at all, we are still a 34th percentile of a leader level that we are at. But if we focus on 1, it moves up to 64. If we focus on 3, we are amongst the top 81 percentile of the top leaders of the world. So 3 strengths are adequate for us. Beyond that, if we can even reach to 91 percentile. So out of the 16, just 3 strengths are enough for us to be amongst the top leaders. Inside 6, which we all know, perceptions of us are reality for others. Nobody in this world, including us, says what they truly feel about us on our face. You only know about it when you run a 360-degree feedback, so the program is based on a 360-degree feedback. We do take, and it is 360 from anyone, including your family, friends, people that you work with, your colleagues, your bosses, your juniors, your peers, anyone that you want to include. And because it is done anonymously, obviously you really get true insight into how people think about the 16 areas of principles of leadership. Inside 7 is the strengths that you need to work on to develop those 3 strengths that are there, to work on where they converge. Where you have the competence, so you know how to do that. You are passionate about it. It energizes you. It makes you want to focus on it. And the organization or the market needs it. So only when you focus on all these 3 is where you're able to arrive at, amongst those 16, which is the strength that you already possess, and you should sharpen it further to move to a higher level of leadership. Inside 8. So you're already good at it. It's already a strength. So how do you develop it further? It's difficult because you're already good at it, right? So this is, if you look at a sports person, let's look at a cricketer or a footballer or whoever, or a marathon runner. They know how to run. They run exceedingly well. They know it where they compete. They are amongst the top notch. What do they do to develop themselves better? They use cross-training. They focus on their nutrition, they focus on their muscle power, they focus on their stretching, they focus on their strength building to be able to run far better and faster in shorter time. So that's exactly the principle that I apply in the program that I run, to say if you already have a strength, how do you build it even further? So for example, I have taken one example here, that you are already an exceedingly good communicator, because it has come out as a strength for you. How do you build it further? So if you look at these other areas, if you focus on not all of them, just 2 or 3 of them, and you build those even more, it enhances your strength that you already have. So let me show you this by an example to say how does this work. So if you take this particular one, and you pick up just 2, so you look at to say, okay, how can I inspire and motivate better, and how can I innovate better? Because these 2 are the support systems that make my strength go higher. So then we help you, I help you put in a full development plan, which helps you improve these. So if you have to inspire, what do? You have to put a large, big goal in front of your team and ensure that they achieve it. Because there's nothing better, nothing that inspires people than to do something which is impactful, something which is larger than life. Second, what else can you do? That within that, you keep reminding them of the biggest priority. Because what happens is people take the goals, they go back to their work, and then they get used to the mundane and the routine that they have to. So how would you, in your plan, it would come out to say how on a day-to-day basis or a weekly basis, would you really help them prioritize so that they are able to achieve that goal that you've set with them. And the third thing that you would do, and there are many more, I've just taken this, is how do you ensure that the passion and commitment that you have, you're able to translate it to the others that work with you. Because it's within you, how are you able to do that? And another piece that you could pick up is innovate. So within the goal that you have to achieve, there are many other things that are happening. How do you do it distinctively? How do you do it in a unique fashion? So it would show to say what kind of things you need to do, what kind of questions you ask, how do you challenge the status quo, how do you ensure that there is something new that that thing is going to bring which doesn't exist. So there's a full plan that I will help you prepare as part of my program that I run, which the person goes back with. And then they work on it, and then there are follow-ups that we do. So that's the next insight of cross-training. To build a strength, you have to build on other areas around it. And the last insight is the more people that we involve in our development, the more we are able to achieve it. If we keep it to ourselves, and after a certain point in time we get a little rejected, we get a little lost in our own things, the mundane takes over. But if we have more people that keep reminding us or keep working with us, that tell us to say that that's the one that we had said we would work on, and how come it is not happening, so that helps. And in this I put a supportive manager, but it could be your family, and I can share my own personal experience with it. So I put in a goal to say I could get angry very easily, very easily. So I put in a goal to say, okay, I'm going to work on my anger, so that I develop more patience. So for me it was on patience which came out. And patience would help me become a better leader, because then there are people that fear you less, and they're able to come and speak to you more easily, and that's how you build it. So I involve my family as well, because at work we are able to control it. It's easy because it's an environment which is formal, you are able to. But at home it is very difficult to control it. Little things trigger it off. So I involve my family, and I involve my colleagues, I involved everybody in that. And I told them, I said, okay, we have a chart. So I had a whiteboard in the office, and I had another one at home. And we would put down week by week. I would put down to say each time I lose my patience and I get angry, there would be a cross that would be put there. And each time I sailed through something that would trigger initially, but I wouldn't be able to, I would. And over a period of time, as weeks passed, as months passed, I saw that yes, there was a slow reduction in it, and it helped. So the more people we involve, that is what works. So we help you as part of the program to work out to say who's going to help you achieve this. And some of the follow-ups and everything is done from my end as well. So what does leadership mean? Just a symbolic representation from me to say what does it mean. So if I ask you to imagine just a tent that you have put to reside, to go inside. So what do you need there? You need a pillar in the middle to keep it at least up so that you can breathe, and 4 pillars on the side for it to stay in place. That's all that we need, right? Now if you take the same 5 pillars that are required for leader and take these 5 areas, which is character, personal capability, which is the competence, the day-to-day work that we do, the competence that we have on that. Focus on results, that we have to ensure that we are able to deliver something at the end of it. Interpersonal skills, because we have to deliver through others, and with others we can't do it on our own, so we have to have good relationship with them. And we can lead change, because if you're a leader, we have to ensure that we bring about some change that is there. So if we take these 5, and if we are able to just increase the size of one pole, just one pole, what will it do to us? We'll be able to have a little more space. We'll be able to breathe a little more. The higher we keep growing this, the larger our tent becomes, and the bigger leader we are, because there is room for many more in there, and not just us. We can accommodate many more. So with this, I will open it up for any questions that you would want to ask.
Did you say the program is in association with someone, or
Yes,
is this something?
it is in association, yes. No, it is in association with a company out of Sweden called CEC. Yes, it is in association.
And what period is this program? How do you execute this? How does
So
it
the
work?
way it runs is that I do open programs, which are for individuals who can join it, and I do it for a specific corporate. But the process and the procedure remains exactly the same the way. So how it works is you register, whether an individual or a corporate gives me some. At any given point in time for a program, I do not take more than 15. So it's 12 to 15 because it is very personalized. You need to help that person through the whole process, right? So the first thing that happens is when you register, you have to undergo a 360 degree. So the 360 degree is run by CPE. They run that because you need to provide all the details of who all are going to run it. And you can include any number of participants. There is no limit to it that you want to, because the more feedback you get, the more balanced feedback you are going to get. So as many you want to. The reports for all these 360 degree come to me. They are with me. I study them. I understand what is each one bringing to the table in terms of strengths. And then I run a day and a half long program for these 12 to 15 people together. There are 7 modules in that we cover, which broadly include, first of all, just understanding the subject. What is the feedback saying? What are your strengths? Reading that, going through that entire piece. And then from them, finding out your sweet spot. So how do you find what is it that you're passionate about? What is it that the market or the organization needs? What is it that you have in terms of competence that is there? So it helps you find that sweet spot. And then from that sweet spot, it helps you put a full development plan together, which is a very detailed one that you're going to take back and practice day to day. For organizations, I run a follow-up session after 6 months, sometimes 4 months, but in between there are periodic messaging that goes out to them. For individuals, it depends whether they want it or they don't want it. Some of them do come back to say, yes, we would want to do a one-on-one session with you. Through this entire program that I've done, there is one area which I would like to point out. In certain cases, just in certain cases which people don't realize, but there could be one of those 16 areas or leadership principles or competencies, whatever you call, which is so low that it's actually a fatal flaw in that individual. That flaw is prohibiting the individual to not just not reach their potential, but actually drop off many times. So they pick up some work and they lose that work, or their relationships they are not able to work on. There's something or the other that deters them from reaching that potential. So in those specific cases, there is a coaching, one-to-one coaching.
What do you charge for the course?
It's approximate for the corporates because they have the whole piece which is together. It is including the 360 degree and the development plan, everything put together is anywhere between 75,000 to 90,000 depending upon when you register. Because with the early bird you are at a 75,000 individual.
And how many days is the course?
A day and a half, like I mentioned. A day and a half. And it's only for 12. I prefer 12, but sometimes organizations push it to
How many hours a day?
It's from morning till evening, proper, and next week.
Sorry, I missed
Whatever
the
time
amount.
it means.
What's the amount I missed the
75,000 to 90,000, depending upon when you register. Because if you register earlier, you get an early discount.
and what is it?
Same. Remains the same. It is.
Per person.
Yes, it is.
You have regular courses or
Yes.
every month or?
Not every month.
No,
That would
it's
become a little
regular
too
or-
much for me to run. But yes, because I do other things as well. So periodically, I run it and then I
Venue?
Depends. If the larger number are from Delhi or Gurgaon, it would be here. Otherwise in Bombay. And this one, if it is the corporate, then it is in their whichever city that they are in.
So that would be
Wherever they, whichever city.
in English.
Primarily, yes. Up till now, most of the people that I have worked with are very, very fluent in the language. I haven't had somebody who's not fluent
would recommend this from what position?
Doesn't matter. I run it even for students. Even for students. Because the idea is for you to be able to pick up those skills and understand what you are good at that level, so that when you pick up your job, you're actually successful.
Yes.
Yeah, the sooner the better. So it doesn't matter. The level doesn't matter. What I do is, when we form the groups, they are of similar background. So if it is a certain level that is being there, then I wouldn't have a student there or a very senior person there. So it's a similar kind of profiles that would attend it together. Thank you.
I'm going to just take a moment and thank you. Quite enjoyed this session. Thank you, ma'am. No, I don't think it's required. It's for the cameras. So. Yes, thank you so much. That was very interesting insights. Leadership is a topic which everybody believes they already know, because, of the number of years they've already spent doing these roles. But I think every time we hear someone speak, there's always something added to the whole thing. So thank you so much for sharing your years of experience in this field. Thank you. Now I invite Mr. Kaarthikeyan to share with us. Please tell me, sir, what exactly you're going to spend a little time with us on. Because accordingly, I'd also like to invite some more ladies from outside. We'll have the session filled up. Are you also going to talk on leadership in the similar line?
Whatever you say. Whatever you say.
Okay, right. So strengths to move from good to great. So let me just go and get some more people. Give us 5 minutes and I'll come back. As a volunteer, I'm going to go get some more.
I think we can start.
Yeah.
I'll get some.
Okay. I think I'll join you, right? 5 minutes.
Yes.
I think we should just take that 5 minutes break. Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
So you're also
Let's switch off.
you don't need that? You don't have presentations and I'll switch it off.
Picture right here. आपका कैमरा तो फोन होगा नहीं? I can stand here for you.
Okay, done.
Huh?
Okay.
It's okay.
Hmm.
You want me to be here or here?
Same है.
One location, so it gets captured.
Easy for you. We have to keep holding it.
Yeah.
Other places they have got a stand. Just fix the camera.
Interesting.
Poor man has to keep holding it. निकल जाएगा अभी.
आपका stand.
पकड़ना पड़ेगा ना.
हाँ.
Therefore, it's best to stay in one place. The more you move, the more he'll have to
Just
move
keep
with it.
staying.
So there's nothing to present, right, sir?
No,
So I'm going to leave this screen on where it says.
Easily you don't leave it.
Okay.
So what is your role in the seminar?
I'm an all-member, founding member for Bangalore and Karnataka. But having said that, I've come, this time I'm not a speaker, but I'm a volunteer. So that's how it is. And recently I said that Kaarthikeyan in the morning, I now head the India chair for hospitality consultants. So I moved out of Taj, I joined Marriott, I moved out of operations.
How many years you have done? What else?
20.
Oh, you are fully qualified.
Correct. 20 years and second generation. My parents are hoteliers and grew in a hotel environment.
Oh.
So I think it's pretty much in my
Where was
blood.
your father?
He was with the ITDC in those days.
Mother?
She started in ITDC and then they were if you remember the Agyar Park in Chennai, Agyar Gate.
Yeah.
My father started that with Mr. G.D. Gevas in those days. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Holiday Inn, originally it was meant to be a Holiday Inn when it first came in. So we brought the Holiday Inn into the
I
country.
think actually I've been close with the hotels now. Fascinating.
That's true. It's a very
Everybody has to be 24 hours you have to be alert.
yeah.
Isn't it so?
Because I think it's one of the only industries in today's day and age where more time spent is more return on the shop floor. Like IT, you can work remote. My husband is logging in all the time from home, but that is just not possible. What is log? Yeah.
Really so personal.
Personal, and the more the time. So it's not what today's day and age says. The less time, and you should get more results.
See,
No, you don't get it.
24 hours, 7 days a week.
On call.
Everything goes on well.
Yeah.
Little thing goes wrong. Doesn't it?
Has a domino effect. Really, one small thing you try.
And higher your reputation,
Yeah. You want to
the
say-
smallest faults also
Yeah.
get magnified.
That's true. And having come from the Taj environment, you know how we've always treated customers like
God.
Like God. We just one little feedback also, and the whole system gets a little shaken. We used to take.
I used to write, I've been there from the time of Mr. Krishna Kumar invitation. And I used to write wherever I go, I put a lot of time spent in Taj hotels. And sometimes other hotels were there. My own choice is Taj. But people invite, suppose it's a conference here, we have to fine, I'm not. But I make it a point to communicate. The manager immediately, on the year usage, I write regular letters to the CMD, CEO. And I can tell you, they have accepted many of my solutions. And then when I write to Krishna Kumar or Dixon, they have written copies to all the general managers.
Yes, absolutely.
I may refer to a particular hotel and say that I appreciate something or there's something would be better. I find when I go there, they said, yes, we have seen your letter communicated to us.
Very strong.
And but even now when I go there, there should be, organic health food corner and all that. They will say, well, it's your initiative. Everywhere they will say. They'll say because the letters have gone. And vegetable juice, like amla juice and kerala juice and neem juice, everything. And in West End, they used to put a board. They said, the foreigners when they come, they, after seeing the value, they said they prefer vegetable juice to the fruit juice. So when after Mr. Rakeshwaran took over as CEO and we went to West End, he told me later on when he went, corner, beautiful corner, all the way, everything is kept, there's a man, they make it fresh and give it. Sometimes they put it in the bottle also, keep it. And he said, I was told that you are the initiative.
Each person to that.
They are so disturbing. I have a habit of taking this tulsi leaves, Tulsi leaves, handful of tulsi leaves I take of late, and a piece of ginger, tender coconut water. That is, I go to they will not, I don't send it to home. I won't pick it up. I take it. And it is on the computer. Wherever I go there, it's kept. Then I used to tell Mr. Krishna Kumar time onwards, I said, only problem with Taj hotels is your soap is of poor quality compared to other hotels. They accept it also. But what happens, they must have ordered tons of soap already, they have exhausted. But wherever I go, they keep either sandalwood soap or Dove soap in them. Everywhere. It goes with it. See, they take so much care. I was telling you, tulsi leaves, not, even though West End is 20 acres of beautiful forest, Bangalore, they have a tulsi plant. So what they will do is they will get it from a temple or from one of the chefs will have a tulsi plant in his house, they will bring it. So one day, these 2-3 boys, so they took me there, going to give a surprise. There's a tulsi plant planted for my sake. It's grown so beautifully, Now they say, we'll go and pluck it and come back. 20 acres of forest. The care they take. So much of personal care they take. Amazing. Makes a difference. Makes out of difference. That is, they care for you. Amazing. That's what is this? So putting a steeple here.
There are some all Indian sites very nicely captured. Yeah.
The other day I went to.
Let me call somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
They haven't
They
opened
haven't.
all the counters.
They closed it.
Yes, please.
Yes, I was just sending out messages on our group to say what's going on in this hall. We can start.
No, but the whole day they have been, at the end of the day, Okay, now you have finally given a good presentation on the principles and the theory of leadership and converting into a greater leadership and all that now. I will just compare myself to just a couple of actual incidents. That's what interests you also. One is on, I think you did talk about something on Rajiv and the assassination.
No, not me.
Somebody else.
Someone else.
I'll give only 3-4 instances. Manager just manages things. What else do? Manager graduates into a leader. That little more, not only as mastered management, but also as innovation, inspiration. You can lead us, you can make a distinction. And how does a leader become a greater leader? Extraordinary leadership, we call it. Yes? Okay. It's very difficult to speak about oneself actually, it's very embarrassing. But I can give you 3-4 instances. For example, when it was, there were floods in Belgaum district, Mathura Dam, under construction. People were not willing to move out. But the water is coming, filling up. Another 24 hours, they will get submerged and people will die. So we have to clear them. We can't stop the water only. Dam is built. Water is flowing, raging also. So where we had to do it, though I was soon a police, a senior man, what it was, went there, personally led, went to the huts and things like that, we had to more persuasion plus a little bit of pressure and force. We had to move them all before they went home. By the time we removed the last person, the water flowed. If there has been little delay, not only those some of the people who refused to move, we also would have been drowned. That I could ask my inspector of police or DSP to do it. But it doesn't happen because, when they see the senior man himself there, so they are prepared to take the risk and then otherwise they in turn will pass on to somebody else. And down the line, people won't listen to them also. One small instance, we have to take the leadership, courage, conviction and commitment, we have to do it. Then once when I was Deputy Commissioner of Police in Bangalore City, I was only Deputy Commissioner of those days. We have 10 of them today. So we had a lot of problems the whole day. Morning started and goes on till midnight. As the days happen. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited near the airport, 10,000 workers are there. One day, one of their own buses ran over one of the workers. He died on the spot. Now all of them came out. That's what happens in a mob mentality. So they stopped a moment, everything, nobody working with each other. 10,000 workers. Angry. I had my police force all right. But then you had, with armed people, if I allowed them to go in, what happens? They are angry. They will throw some stones, and my force will get angry. Lathi charge, tear gas. You don't know where it ends, 10,000 people. So I had to take a quick decision. Little bit of risk, but I said no. All I did was, I walked with the crowd to the spot. My officers advised, they will mock me. I said, no, don't worry. I didn't carry a weapon. I only put a helmet. Because people may throw stones. I was in uniform. I walked through the crowd. They just gave me. Went into the middle of them and then got onto the bus which was there. I told them there is no intention on the part of them. There is a negligence. There was negligence on the part of the driver. No doubt, we will take action. We will be arrested. You will be prosecuted. Now, what do you want us to do now? You can't stop the whole thing, paralyze the whole thing. Your own people. He was also one of you. You can't lynch him. Then I assured them. They gave me a mic and spoke to them and all these things. Then they got pacified.
took about a couple of hours, slowly dispersed. We arrested the driver, passport, treatment, all that. See, that decision has to be taken momentarily by the leader. You don't consult anybody. It's your own decision. You need courage. You need the initiative. You have to judge what is the best in this situation. You accept an element of risk, no doubt about it. But the confidence and the courage with which you move, that has its own impact on the crowd. This man is walking alone. He is not carrying a weapon. And all the armed people are all the way. Now, the Central Reserve Police Force, we have a lot of action in Punjab. My battalions were there, insurgency. What a violence took place in Punjab, Kashmir, and Manipur, Nagaland also. I had my force, the Central Reserve Police Force. So there used to be a lot of incidents, stone throwing, firing, and all that. So when we were there already, because we will go in with protection and all these things there. They say, no, you are a senior officer, don't do this. He said, no, if you are going, I can go also. So go and deal with situations. In Sri Lanka, when the Indian peacekeeping force was there, Rajiv this time around, but in Sri Lanka. Yeah. So I had gone as an CRPF, and later on, I had to go for an assessment. Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister. And what was going on between the Tigers at Tamil Indian Army. Indian Army was sent to keep peace, to disarm the activity in all that. Then the government asked me to go for an assessment because more than 1,000 soldiers got killed, Indians. 1,000 of them got maimed. Thousands of crores we have spent already down to India. And nobody was thankful. Criticism all over. So that time they asked me to go for an assessment of the situation. Prime Minister said, through the Cabinet Secretary TN session, we are getting a report from the Indian Embassy, from the Intelligence Bureau, from the Army, from various sources, but they are all conflicting with each other. There is no consistency. So we won't have an independent assessment of the situation. So I was requested to go there. So I went by a special flight to Trincomalee, and from there went to Jaffna. Going to Jaffna, only 10 kilometers. But then they did not take me by road because they said road mines were by the HDK. So they took me by a helicopter. Helicopter also, I said, why are you going so high? They said, sir, look at your foot right there. There were so many holes. They said, they fired at the helicopters. So we had to go beyond the reach of them. So we had to go up and then all that. Then thereafter, in various places, Romania, Patikola and all that, I went for an assessment. Assessment means what? Indian Army generals, they have their own version. Sri Lankan police have their own version. So, but I had to give an assessment to the government of India, to the Prime Minister. If I am going to listen to them and give, that trip is already been done. So I used to go move quietly, go into the colleges, schools, I go on the beach, talk to the people, fishermen and all that. Then the general, Indian Army general says, sir, you are a very senior officer. You are working alone. These are deadly fellows. They can kidnap you. They will be sent back to India. They can kill you, they can be mines. I said, yes, I agree with you. But how do I make the assessment, independent assessment? Unless I go on the spot to the people, I will not get correct assessment. I have to accept that risk. To go and give a report and all that in there. Another thing is in the Rajiv Gandhi assassination case, while investigating, one suspect was arrested by us, name was Shanmugam. And in my case, I have taken a decision, nobody will be beaten. I told them, when I took up the investigation itself, said, it will be no politics, no third degree. We will go from crime to criminal. So this fellow was taken to the coast and to show what all they have kept for the LTTE. Some wireless sets and all this dug up and all that. And ultimately, at night, in the inspection bungalow, he was 24. Then somebody else locally arrested, that fellow was telling, it's all right, smuggling is all right, they are all smugglers. But you are being charged for killing Rajiv Gandhi. I mean, with the conspirators, you are a Deshdrohi, you are a traitor. What do you say? I said, now in the newspapers, local newspapers, your photo has come. That fellow felt insulted. What he did was, even without washing properly, he ran out of the barrel to wash and ran, escaped from the custody. And in a case where I said nobody will be touched, so my officer, DIG, rang up and said, Sharman escaped. I said, my God, you take him. She said, he is not, we thought he will be killed by those people. But morning he said that he is hanging. He's hanging because he committed suicide. But who will believe? He was in CBI custody. The man is hanging, they will say, we have been beaten. Isn't it so? In a case where I said nobody will be touched. And then a lot of problems in the parliament and things like that, those days, every day it was the news. I said, then give it to the local police, don't investigate. Open investigation was done. And all that ultimately, then the matter was so serious at that time, the Home Minister of India flew all the way. Because next day, Monday was the Parliament opening session. Sunday morning he comes to Madras. He wanted to make an assessment. And only I went with him. He thought we will go and land there. But then that was an Air Force helicopter. He said, no, without trial landing, no VVAP can be taken. Anyhow, we spent time. Came back to Madras. On the way he told me, Mr. Kaarthikeyan, now it's going to be a big problem with the Parliament tomorrow morning. Please suspend those officers who are on the spot. So what for? So I'm going to escape. I said, yes, escape. We will have an inquiry. The normal course. If there is any negligence, we deal with them. He said, no, how will we face the Parliament? I said, I don't know, but I am not going to touch him now. Here is a case where the deadly terrorist group, whole world is scared of them. They have killed their own president, defense minister and all that. And here, CBI Academy or no police academy says how to collect intelligence, do the operations. Then they have been without, last 2 days they have not slept, no food, taken the risk and all that. They did it because of my being the leader. I am working like that, and I cannot suspend them. I told them I cannot suspend them. I am sorry. Now how will we face the Parliament? I said to the Parliament, you tell them. I take full responsibility and quit. As a leader, I take full responsibility, but I am not going to suspend any one of them. I told Home Minister. He landed. Most people asked him what happened. He said, no, they have done a great job and things like that. He went away to Delhi. I rang up the then director CBI. Told him, I said, the Home Minister has got in his mind, I think they will announce suspension of officers tomorrow in the Parliament. I want to tell you, if anyone is suspended, I will quit. Because I feel they are doing all this because of my leadership. I want to tell you this, nobody can stop this. I didn't take up the case because nobody in Delhi was willing to do it. I was requested to do it, I took it as duty to the nation. I want to tell you this very clearly. It so happened when he went with the minister to the Prime Minister's house and all that, then they were actually prepared to suspend. They did not do it because I know, nobody can stop me from quitting. Of course, we have taken some abuse and all the Parliament for see, we have to do it. The leader, it's not because I wanted to be leader, that should be a quality. Accept responsibility. Doing the right thing, we should take a different thing. I could have suspended an inspector or constable or DLP. It's not a big problem for me, but how do I do it? Why should I do it? I said, we'll conduct an inquiry and due course. And when we conduct an inquiry, there was someone. How will they not trust him? 2 days he was cooperating with us. And suddenly he escaped because he wanted to protect his honor. He hanged himself. So like that, with a number of instances you can do it. Only one more thing I'll tell. Then, every day was news. Every day, the headline was Rajiv Gandhi assassination, what the progress made at that time. Every day, Vincent George was, personal secretary to Rajiv Gandhi, Electron Sonia Gandhi. He will call me at 2 a.m. to Madras. I will be in the office. 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I said, Mr. George, how can you tell every day the progress? No, the family, Sonia Gandhi and the children are here. They want to hear from you what is the progress of the investigation. That was the situation where they were so tense and all that. Then one day, so the media generally, then what happened, they used to be cooperative with me. I used to share with them, because some papers put teams of investigators. They were doing parallel investigation. You know, the Frontline magazine, after reprint in black market selling it for 200 rupees in Calcutta, that was the interest of the public and all that. All over the world I used to get calls and all that, you know. One day the then director, CBI called me, wrote to me a letter telling everything is coming in the papers. The Home Minister, when I go to pick the Home Minister, he said, not in the paper. So please don't anything share with the media. I was very upset. I wrote to him telling, I didn't ask for this case. If the government who requested me to take up the case, I have no way of keeping the media away. I always follow keep the media with you, otherwise they will distort, they will write all sorts of stories. How will I look for these accused? Unless the public have faith in me and my investigation, how will they look for them? We have 40, 50 people going all over Tamil Nadu. We were searching for them. I said, this is the only way I can do it. I didn't ask for the job. If you want this to be done in any way, please appoint somebody else and deal. We kept quiet. I continued the way he did. Because the media created credibility to my investigation. That was a big decision. To say I am quitting, with all the responsibility, I was a hero at that time. He said, no, I can't do it on your terms, because if I keep the media away, they will create problem for us. And they were sharing, they were loyal to me. Sometimes they know more than us. They will ask me, I said, it's true, but don't publish it for 2 days. After my operations, rates are done and all that. So like that, you know, the most important quality, it is not building up, it has to be in your inherent character. What Madam said, you know, the central pillar, character is the essence. Whether you are a manager or a leader or extraordinary leader and all that. How did prepare Mahatma Gandhi became a leader? His character, you know, commitment, kindness, and truth. People should know you are sincere, you are truthful. Then that's how you build up. You can't act. It is to be, basically you have to be born with character and build it up. Integrity should be there. You don't seek for your personal benefit. Okay, I will close one thing. When Dr. Abdul Kalam became the President of India, whom I knew earlier also, this is gone on record, so I don't mind it because it's gone in paper. He called me the very next day, like this, you are sitting, he used to call me surrounding. You have done the greatest service to this country. You risked your life, they were able to kill you. Your wife had a heart attack. Now tell me, I am the President of India. The nation knows a lot to you. Please tell me what you want to become. Mentioned big names. I told him, I was really touched by his affection. He's the President, he came yesterday. He is worried about my position. I told him I did not do it for any award recognition. I did my duty. And there is no compensation for what I have done. My own satisfaction is the reward for that. He said, no, you must tell me. I said, sir, I don't seek anything personal favor from anybody. I know that that's why I am asking you. Then he said, no, I don't believe. Then you please consult Kalam. Please ask my wife and then tell me tomorrow. I went home, asked my wife. She said, what? You have done our duty. And we don't see you. I don't, for so many 39 years we have lived together. You never ask for a favor for yourself. Nothing is worth asking for and getting. She was also of that character. I said, what will I tell the President tomorrow? Please tell him that what is given by the divine is what we deserve. We don't seek anything more. Ask him to have his morning walk regularly, take care of himself. So when they told him, he laughed at it. I said, why? I told him, sir, even if you want something, President of India doesn't have the power. You will ask the Prime Minister to do it. He will do it. Definitely do it. And I also know the Prime Minister. If I ask him, he will do it for me. He has respect for me. He said, but why are you not asking? I said, why should I ask for something? If I ask for something and does it, he or his people Someday will ask me to do something which is against my conscience. I won't do it. If I don't do it, having taken a favor, I am ungrateful. If I do it, I lose respect for myself. So I don't want to put myself in a position. So ultimately, that central pillar of character, your essential character, you don't get tempted by all these things happening. Offers of PPKU, governor, you do this, post-time in very big. And some of them are in disgrace because they make money. What is the idea? What is the value? Ultimately, it is not the money. It is not the wealth or power or popularity. What gives you contentment, peace of mind? You should be able to look at straight into the eyes of anybody and confidently, For that, you have to have your character. And you do the right thing and accept what is given by the divine as what it is. Thank you. 27. Thank you. So,
I must, yes, you missed it. Very nice stories. Somehow, having seen and known you for so many years, I didn't know some of these stories, but of course, not only are they interesting.
no, this one.
This is not on.
This one, No, it's not.
Okay.
So this story of my conversation with President Kalam, I repeated it just few months before he passing away. I invited him for a program of mine, my foundation. In my welcome speech, I said, this is what happened between you and me. Me and President Kalam. I repeated, he said at the end of it, told me, sir, you will never ask for a favor from me, Dr. Kalam. I said, you always introduce me as your best friend. There is nothing more important than that.
Thank you so much for sharing stories out of your life. A lot of this was interesting.
Some of them appeared in the press also.
Yes, but I may have missed them. I don't know. But yeah, they were very interesting, and subtly one gets the message of what a leader really is about. So, and I could tie it in the minute, though you said character, the first thought was that pillar in the tent. So it's all, without really having to say it, one can really see what these few pillars of leadership are. So. Thank you so much, Bhavna. Sorry you missed it. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. I'm sitting, that's it, so another room is full.
That's right, you have to have a full room. But don't forget, it's going live stream, the whole world is watching. So you pretend there's 1,000 people in the room because they're all watching you.
A lot of people.
Also you.
And me. And her. Yes. Yeah.
My children are with me at home.
Your children are watching. You're
Aapne karo
live
itarna.
streaming.
Yeah.
So you should, are you going to stand right there?
Yeah.
Is he in the way? Maybe you should come one over this way. One more.
तो
You have to thought as well, you have to sit.
अच्छा
Because it's nice, this is nice to have it in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
तो just close table round.
Close table karna.
हाँ
Okay. He says, why don't you do a closed table where you will only cover her and all of us will be listening.
स्पीच खड़े होके तो नहीं देंगे ना.
You'll be sitting and giving the speech or you'll be standing and talking.
She can stand with this in the background. How does it look on camera?
Even if she's sitting, I think that will come in the background. What you think? What is better?
मैं कह रहा हूँ बैठ के स्पीच
Are
देंगे
you
या
going to
खड़े
go
होके.
close up to her?
अब खड़े होके दोगे? You want to deliver by standing?
बैठ कर देखो कैसा आ रहा है.
मैं आपको दिखा रहा हूँ.
Then it just check
Just
which
wait.
is looking better.
Just wait.
Turning the camera. Yeah. Which is so better? It's better sitting or standing?
Standing.
Standing.
Standing, no?
Yeah.
Yes, standing is quite better.
Yeah.
ये रहा.
Okay, can we start now?
Yeah. This Henna Dewkinandan Mathur will be taking up the session on diversity, and there are reasons for being in the diversity is a must for having a balance in how. It's fine? Fine, thank you. So Henna Mathura Dewkinandan from a Needle's lens will be carrying on the topic on diversity is must for having balance in the environment. She will share her views and perception how the balance should be there while we discuss about the diversity. We are bringing the empowerment, but the empowerment can be different, right, Henna?
Yes.
The empowerment is having a very different aspect to different people. It's a diversity is there. There's no solution ki blue water suits all are blue glasses. There are a different color in the light and different environment is there. So she will be discussing how we can balance the diversity differences and bring out the real empowerment out of this. Thank you, Henna. Please take your seat.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I am very glad that it's today the first day of the conference in the evening, and you are all here. It is very nice that you take your time to come here, and we will talk about the balance between diversity and empowerment, because the both words meet each other. If you are not in balance, then you cannot have diversity, or you cannot have the empowerment. Let me ask you, when I say diversity, what's coming up in your mind?
Differences.
Differences?
Diversity is differences. Environment change or something like this. Diversity word is in fact there are maybe a same platform, but there are ripples or something like that. Those high tides and low tides kind of a thing. Something is there.
The opposites.
Yeah.
Yes, the opposites.
Right.
Yeah, and you?
And sometimes I think the word diversity is that there's, when you say opposites, that people aren't getting along.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of negative friction, a little friction,
Yeah.
because they're so different that they can't figure out a way. That's sometimes the opposite. We want diversity. We want, all different types of people to work together, but sometimes it doesn't
Mind
happen
shake
as
the
easily
window.
as it should.
Yeah, that's right. And empowerment?
Empowerment is enhancing the capacity, inbuilt capacity enhancing, so that there are the qualities in a human being which are somehow hidden. Just putting, channelizing the energy, channelizing the quality, and
making one empowered to fulfill the task. Means if I say in a management terms, to fulfill our task, assigned task. This is an empowerment.
And you, can you say about your empowerment?
Empowerment is all about enhancing your inner being, like how you go about in the society, how you are taking each and every changes that is happening, and how you are working on that.
Yeah. Because everybody, they have their own journey. But what way you will work for diversity and empowerment? Because everybody has their own emancipation. Which way you are in your life, what happened with you. If you have a trauma, then you have different way to go so far that you can empower yourself. And you cannot empower yourself alone. You need each other. And I am from Holland, and I living in Holland for 45 years. Then you say, she's an Indian, how she can live there? It is a long story. And in the long story of mine is also diversity and also emancipation, empowerment. This was on my way. It's the journey of my life. And today I will share it with you. But I will also your journey. What you have do, what has happened in your life. What has happened with your emancipation. Why have you to do why you will go for it. I have also a women organization for 23 years, and some of the women, they say, why I have to empower myself? I have everything. My husband do everything for me, my children do everything for me. When I need somebody, I have only phone of WhatsApp, and they are at my place. They are not thinking that one day they will be alone in the world, because it happens. Many women, they have only time for the family, children, and one day when everybody's gone, children are home, then they are very lonely. That they have a big gap in the world, in the street, every place, because nobody knows them. They know them well, that he is a mother from the children, but they are not friendship with each other. And that is a very big problem. It's happened in Holland, in the Netherlands, South America. And it was a great immigration. After slavery in 1863 was abolished the slavery in 1863. And the colonists, the Dutch colonists, they were the boss in Suriname since 1677. They have people from Africa. They were on very bad circumstances there. It was too bad. What happened after 300 years? They said, "I stop. I will not work for these people." They stopped. They ran away. There was fighting, revolution. Everything happens, but the job have to go on the plantations and on the land. So then they think the Chinese have to come, the Indonesian has come, the Portuguese has come from Madeira, but the work was too hard for the people, too hard. It was too hot, so it was unsuitable for them. Then they think the British Indian from India, they are hard working people, they know how to work in the sun, and how and they can manage that because they are doing that also in Hindustan. So they call it Hindustan. So the British, they make a commitment with India, and so in 1874 they became the first peoples from India. All they collect them, everybody from UP, from UP was it, and you had Bihar, used to be, and Nepal. But people from Nepal, they can't come straight. They go first to India, to Gorakhpur, and there they collect the Nepalis. And so the people came by ship. For 3 months, they come there, over there, and they have to do the job. But they think that it was a beautiful country because the people where they come from, they thought they had a better life there than in India because they have no job there. And you have also women who are divorced. You know what the circumstances is when you're in the time, if you are alone as a woman. So they think we go to Sri Ram, so they call that Sri Ram. They thought it is like a heaven there. We have to go there. But when they come there, they saw that it was not so nice what the people had told them. They call them contracties. They have to make a contract for 10 years. They have to work for 10 years, and after 10 years they can decide if they will go back or not. And so, since 1873 till 1960, they came for 35,000 Indians from India to work in Suriname. And it was the same as the slavery. It was a hidden slavery. They get money, but it was not enough. It was too worth. So, but you know how Indians are, how bad it is. They are not so assertive. They keep going. They say, God is there. He see everything. It will be good. But what happened after 10 years? They have to choose between Suriname or India. I think for the 34,000, they were gone, I think 20,000. 20,000 they go back. No, it is opposite. 20,000 they were in Suriname, and the other one they go back. But some of them came back because the family will not have them there. They ignored them because they were overseas. This does also happen. So the people came back. And what happened? Gandhi, he heard about the problem there in Suriname, that the Indians were beaten, was violence. They stayed there, they get a piece of land, and the land was for them. They made plants, not what they plant, so as rice, banana, coffee, and vegetables, everything what they can. And there starts my story, my journey. Among the peoples from India, they stay in Suriname. My grandparents was between these people, and they stay there on the plantations. They're working hard. After that, my parents, they were also, but my mother was living in the city. So all come living to Suriname, the city of Suriname, and they call it Paramaribo. And that means the city of the flower sea. And it is true, there's many flowers there. So they call them after that. And what is now the meaning of my journey in this? The meaning of my journey is what can you do? That you are. My parents were in the city. After the marriage, they came in the city in Paramaribo, and they have to live in the city. It was very hard because the slavery was ended, but the African people, they were all go to the city. And so they were not so nice with each other, because they said, why you come to help them? They slap us, they do everything with us, and now the same happened to you, and what's happened now? Now you are here. But after that, they mix it up. They make one big family. But the language was different. If you see, diversity is also the language. It's very important. So the Hindustani, when they were working for 10 years, they made also an own language. That language they mentioned as the Hindustani. It was a mix, Nepali, Bhojpuri, and Audi. And some words of different, I think Gujarat. And so they call it Hindustani. But with the African people, they have to speak another language. So, and the language in the city was the African English. African English we call it. Why? Because African people, they came from Africa, from West Ghana, and they have their own language. But the Portuguese people, they speak Portuguese. And you have also the Dutch people there. So they mix the language, so they can they make a common language, so they can talk with each other. They have conversation. So, and that language we mention as taki-taki of African neighbors. And that still is in Suriname. And the peoples from Suriname, they came to Holland, they speak also that language. And I speak Dutch. That's my first language, is my Dutch. I think also in Dutch. My emotion language is also Dutch. My second language is the Swarnami, is the Bhojpuri mix. And the third language is English. And Spanish I speak a little bit. That's also diversity. Language, how you manage with each other. That is a big, it's not a problem, but it is something that you have to do with each other. You have to be on one level when you will talk with each other. And so they speak a common language. And when I was born, it wasn't easy for me because I know it not better. Everybody, we saw not the difference. We saw not the difference anymore because we are living there. My parents were living there. I was living there. We were talking the same language, but we have also the festivals of all the people from their own country. They keep that. That's what you have to keep. Your language is important. Your identity is important. Your religion is important, and your norms and your values is also important. That you have to keep in your mind. But when you are living with different peoples from different countries, then you have to make a mix. And what they did with many peoples, they take also the values, what they think it is very good for me, they take it over. So, and they have, you know what they also do? They speak each other's languages. And that's also very nice. And so they accepted it as other. And so I have accepted that. So I see not the difference anymore. I see only the quality what you have, what have we with each other. And that is this also my history, my journey this started. I have to do also a training college. After training college, I met with my husband, and we came together in 1972 in Holland. And that was an immigration. But Holland and Suriname was a colony of Holland. Dus the language was the same, and we know everything about Holland. But the people, they don't accept people from another country because they are unkind. That means that is I don't know what it is. I don't know who you are. It's what you have to do when you are in a different country where people don't know, like people as you. You have to explain everything. You have to explain your background, where your parents come from, and why you look like this. So that is important. You have to explain everything. When you explain everything, then they will accept you. Then they know what you are and what you are and what you will. That is also what I will give everybody if you are in another country. Then you have to explain everything, because you can say, yeah, you can look it up on the internet, everything is there, but you have to share with each other. You have that to do. And when they are having what happened then, they accept me also on the school, because I was also a teacher of a training of the school. What happened? They came people from different countries to Holland. Why? They were people like from refugees, asylum seekers, and immigrants from different countries, like Spain, Italy, and as you can imagine, in Holland there are living 150 nationalities. It's a very small country with 70 million people, very small, but so many nationalities, and all are living in harmony. But the new peoples that are coming, like the refugees, they got many problems. But you know, Holland is a very good country to live. They are all stand up and say, we have to help the peoples. We have to help the refugees and the asylum seekers and the immigrants, because they don't know. They started schools. And so I got also a project to start a school so that they can learn the language very fast. And in 3 months, the children of the people, they can speak the language, and the parents, they also learn with the children the language. And what are the norms and the values and the festivals of Holland, they know them. Because on that program, they mention all these things. And after 6 months, the children can speak the language so good, so fluently, that they're not independent of the teachers. What happened? They go to the library and they get books so that they can read the books, and they also do their own shopping, so they can buy what they want. They are very happy. The parents, they need also everything, but the children, they speak better Dutch than the parents, and the parents, they will also participate in the country, in the place where they are living. So we started also a program for the parents, and that was also the Dutch language, the same program, and also a participation program we have to do that for the parents, and the parents. Then after 8 months, you know, the parents, they have so many problems, they cannot learn so fast. But they do, after 8 months they can speak, and they get a job as voluntary in the institution, on schools, and everywhere where they can find a job. And why they are doing that? For learn the language. And so when you learn language and you don't use that, then you forget the language. You don't know how to say that. And they were very smart. They said, I have to participate every day so that I can speak the language very good. And so the people, they try it, and what happened? When I started, after 3, 4, 5 years, they get a good education school, and they have a good job. You cannot see the difference more from where they come. That was very nice to see. And what I also do in 1994, I started with a women's organization, because I saw the parents, they need more help. At school, it's not enough. So I started. In my free time, I started. Also in the vacation, I started a program for the parents. And so I am working for 23 years, And I do so many projects about all kinds of problems what they have, also nice things like schools, children when they are 10, 12 years, then they have to go to the high school. And in Holland we have 6 kinds of high schools, and which one you can go. They're all making tests. So I give them information also to the parents. I start also a bilingual radio program in which I treated topics such as domestic violence, and with the purpose to get more attention for the subject and to get these issues out of the taboo sphere. There have been also many violence in that time. And what you have to do when you get violence, where have you to go? Because I got information which places you can go. My main goal is to promote diversity in higher position and to create more opportunities for daycare centers so that women have a better chance to develop. And that is the most important thing that you can do, of to help the mother and the parents in this case. Then you have to start with the daycare center, so that when the children are at school, then you can start with a program. And for elderly people, we started also for using a tablet, and that were the seniors, because they were very lonely, and it prevents loneliness. And later I started working as a lecturer. So after teaching, I was a lecturer, and I was a project manager at the secondary education and became also the counselor for study carriers, coaching and development. And what I will give to everybody, to create a healthy and better life, we have to do this, not alone. We have to do this together with all aspects of diversity and by connecting with each other. But before helping others, our own personal development needs to be worked on. It is the journey that creates the connection with others and that empowers us as an individual to support others, like the women we are talking about today. An important ingredient is the mutual respect, no prejudice, and speak a common language. Only then we can make connection, and that is only the way we can live together in a peaceful way. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to go on your own journey. Many people they say, yes, I have to do that, I have to do that. But it never starts, because you are not so far. So you have to start with yourself. Who I am, what is my goal, where will I go, what will I learn, what will I do about 5 years, where will I stand? If you have that in your mind, then you can have everything. The emancipation, the empowerment, you have to start by yourself. If you not started, then you cannot go for a course or at school or for information if you don't know what you will. So, and that is my short story about my journey. I have 3 immigration and how I succeed with people with diversity, how I succeed. That is, you have to accept each other. If you accept each other, you don't see the difference. You see only the quality and the mankind, then you are successful. And empowering is also, you have to do by yourself. And what is your shortcoming? What do you will? And that is why you can start, and so you can go to other women, the institution, every place, and then you can make a good world together. And therefore we are here with a 6 days conference to learn from each other. I learned so many things in the 4 days. I like it. Everybody have a mission, what I see. I say, if you bundle it all, then you have a peaceful world. If you do that, I hope that everybody who here is, that they go to work. When you are at home, don't put it in a cupboard, throw it away, but go and learn everything what you have read, and so you can share with each other.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions?
It was a very interesting journey. And you are with the president of women organization you are working with. What kind of a work Sarita is doing actually?
We are empowering women
Okay.
on every level.
Okay.
On
Okay.
every level.
Okay. That's the main topic, no?
Yeah, yeah.
Empowering. And that is in Suriname only?
No, I started in Holland.
Oh, okay.
When I came from Suriname, I was 20 years.
Okay.
I was on studying,
Okay.
and after my study, I come to Holland for further study to go to university.
Oh, yeah.
At that time, in Suriname was not a university.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
That was a real challenge that
Yeah,
time. Okay,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
So that Sarita is working from the Holland only.
yeah, and we are working with European countries also,
Okay.
like Spain, Italy, London.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, wonderful.
And now I meet her real, Mrs. Aurora. She comes this year.
Yeah.
This year in January in Holland,
Oh yes.
and we meet each other. And she talked with several people about me. She asked me who I am, and so she knew so many things about me that I have to do also a speech.
Wonderful. That's really important, no? Because it's a sharing of experience, no? A 3 generation of migration, or it's different story you are holding in yourself itself.
Yeah. You recognize this something? Do you get this also, immigration?
I don't know much about immigration. I'm from California, where we're getting a lot of immigrants coming to the U.S. But my question, my father has Alzheimer's, and he is in a home where he goes, Monday through Friday. And right next door to the Alzheimer's clinic, they also have a daycare center. So I heard you saying like you're empowering the elderly with the iPads and things. Do you have some programs where you're mixing the young with the old, and is that working for you in your city and also Spain and the other countries? Because in the U.S. this is a new idea to put the elderly with the daycare age groups and have them both be fulfilled, and having a child look up to a grandfather age or a grandmother down to a child. And it seems to be working quite well. So is that something that you do?
Yeah, we have also in Holland. That is a must, because the older people are more, the great people are more than young people. So, and the facility is not like 10 years ago. What the meaning now is, you have to do it for yourself. Your family has to help you. When you cannot come out, then we will help you. But if you have children, you have to do together. With young and age, you have to choose your own people. Which you will walk and work and do something. And when you have nobody, then the government will do something with you. And they started with the tablet card, so that the young people, they can help the old people. It's like how we call a stage. We call it stage when you are learning something on another school. Yeah, so they learn that from how you do that. Then they got points for the study. Yeah. And the people, they like the tablet, the old people, because they can see YouTube. They can do on Facebook. They are going on Messenger.
Skype.
And Skype, because Holland is a small country, but everybody lives 2-3 hours from each other. So far. Yeah, they can't see their children because the distance too great, too far away from them, and they are working from 7 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock. They come at home. They don't have time for the parents. So they do it with friends and with society like we have that way. We are working with them.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I keep looking at your sari, but you're Indian and you have a sari, but you live in Holland. Do you wear this one there in Holland?
Yes.
Yes.
On festivals.
Over festivals.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah. You know, that is the only thing what you have. You have your own language, you have your identity, and you have the culture. And the sari is the culture.
That's right.
Nobody can take it off.
So for 40 years you've always had your culture there. That's
But everybody's doing that.
Yeah.
But I like my identity.
right.
I say, when you don't have identity, you are nobody.
Right. That's very nice. Thank you for sharing.
Thank
Very nice.
you.
I'd love to get your card and learn more about your program. Do you have a business card?
Yes. We have a website also.
Hello.
It is in Dutch. Dit is the slogan. Women is in harmony when she is as streaming water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's very nice. And I'll get mine for you. Mine's in English.
You will also have.
If you ever come to California, let me know.
Yeah.
You can come visit us.
Okay. Thank you. No, I have been to California. I think
We'll be having a photograph.
15 years
Yes.
ago.
Group photograph.
We'll have a group photograph.
Yeah.
Okay. Let
He
me-
came, no?
That's good.
So please.
You got my card?
No,
Oh, no, I give you the different.
this one.
This one is mine.
You get a lot of no, it's thank you. Thank you.
My card. Thank you. Okay. You have my card? Yeah.
This is my card, and also it's about women,
Yes.
and we just have classes. It's all on
Oh,
Okay, we're going to have a group photo.
yeah. Well, we have to.
You have to be in the middle.
Yeah,
You're
please.
in the middle.
Everything is
We'll all
equal,
be
yeah.
next to you.
So please.
And your husband. Please.
तो कार्ड कॉपी नहीं कराया ना आपने
Also, please.
इतना टाइम ही नहीं मिलता
नहीं कार्ड सुबह आप चला रहे कार्ड तो कॉपी कराना
मैंने कुछ भी कॉपी
है ना अंकल
आप चेंज करेंगे करेंगे नहीं करेंगे
नहीं कार्ड तो अलग से कॉपी हुआ है
वही अपना वही चेंज कर रहे हो
Thank you.
And my cell phone. Cell phones, yes. We have to have our cell phones.
He is clicking now from cell phones. Yeah. Yours also. I'm coming later, please.
तू ऑफ कर दे
मेरा ऑफ है
Please.
Please stand up high.
मैं कैमरा नहीं छोड़ देता सर